Cool. So I've been going through some of the bits and bobs there. I have the instructions to build. These were downloaded from Modiphius.com. You go to the Fallout section. The instructions are there. So I'm going to start with that. I'm going to put that away. That's it. I've got a bit of paper down, and we're using pallets because we don't want to damage our fantastic gaming table, provided to us by Geek and Son.
Yes.
So we want to protect that. So I've got a little bit of paper because I will be using super glue during this build. 2 reasons. We want to make the build actually a bit of more of a permanent structure. That's the word, permanent structure. So I've got some glue. I've got some arts and craft materials that we're going to add to it to help zhuzh it up a bit as well. So, but I've also got, if I can find it, where is it? Where's it gone? Where's my board gone? That's important. I have a base to put it on as well.
Oh, sweet.
I'm going to glue it to this base. This is a material called Foamex, and it's used in the sign trade. A lot of signs. Don't park here. You know, these gates will close at. There, a lot of these. So it's like a PVC board.
Charlie is on holiday today. He is allowed to leave the office.
Is he?
Yeah, he is.
He's not in America. He's in IKEA.
Yeah.
He's in IKEA.
He spent his day off at IKEA.
Oh dear. Yes. Bless him. But the hot dogs are good.
Well, he's after the veggie meatballs, he says.
Oh, is he? There we go. Vegetarians. Right. So I need floors and walls. That's what I'm working on. So,
So I've actually built one of these before.
Have you? Good, because I haven't. I've not built one of these at all.
Yeah, I assembled those for QuakeCon.
Yes.
In very low
Of course you did, yes. QuakeCon, I remember. That's actually where these, I don't know if you can see the Vault-Tec cups.
Yep.
But that's where they came from. They came from QuakeCon. They were generously donated. No, they were donated. That was very good.
Neighbours running Fallout 76.
It was, right, yeah, from the neighbours next door to us at QuakeCon, yeah. They were cool. I also got a bobblehead as well.
I didn't go to QuakeCon and I got a bobblehead.
Well, you did well. I think I was teaching Charlie the art of the blag. I've been doing it for some while. So.
Yeah, usually he just offers, I'll do it for a tenner. So
It's far too much. Far too expensive. Now I don't know if do I need this, Giles?
You need to keep them for one of them.
Okay.
So for the roof, so you'll get 2 copies of this.
Yes,
board.
I've got 2 copies of that. Yeah, and it's double-sided, isn't it?
Yeah. You can keep. You can take out the sprue, but it's easier for transport and just setting up by keeping one of these sprues in the actual.
Okay. And so does it give me extra? Is it like an extra pavement or something?
It just creates a bit more of a 3D effect.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'll keep that then. I'll put that on there. I won't glue it down just yet, so I'm just going to do some dry fitting. I think it's probably the best way to go. I'm going to put the crates down there because I don't need the crates as yet. So mixed in with all the actual building sprues are little bits of Scenics, aren't there? So there's crates and
there's a
the fuel sign, and there's a power armor stand, and there's some scatter as well. But I've got some. So let me show you. I don't know if you can see that. There is some scatter as well. Oh, there it goes. Hey. Little bits of scatter, but I have behind me some arts and crafts materials, everyone. Look at me go.
So as I say, you will get some extra little scatter terrain.
Yeah, you do.
So your troops or your units can hide behind.
Look what I've brought. I've got some corrugated paper. That's probably really going to mess with people's eyes because it's stripy. So I've got some corrugated paper, which will I should be chopping up and scattering. That will take. I use it for corrugated iron. And I've got some various lengths of tube. You can see that, a couple of lengths of tube. Now, one way to get the tube this thick is flags. You know, like when you go to carnivals.
Bunting.
Well, yeah, well, you know, like they give out the little paper flags and all kids go, yay!
What's at Seaside?
At Seaside, yes. At Blackpool, yes. Hey. Yes, so that's what this is from. It's plastic, it's PVC, and then these bits are some eyebars.
Oh, okay.
But this, again, this is the stuff they make for sale signs out of. You know, like the fluted plastic sheeting. And you can cut it up into strips and it gives you I-beams. So we'll be doing some arts and crafts there at the moment. I've even got my Rhys's special sand and grit mix.
It's a special sauce.
It's my special sauce. Yes,
You prepared that earlier.
it's a secret blend. Yeah, it's a secret blend. I will tell you what it is if someone wants to ask.
What is your secret blend?
No, not you. I'm not telling you. I'll tell you off camera. Right, so I need some walls, everyone. Right, okay. Oh, I'm going to need these. Right. Yeah. So I will be referring to Giles a lot because he's built many of these.
Yes. Yeah.
And I've never built one. So I've built MDF scenery before, but I've never done anything like this. So what do we got?
None of the battle systems stuff.
No, I haven't actually. No, well, I generally game at a club.
Right, yeah.
So I don't really game at home anymore.
Hoity-toity if you fancy scenery.
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, I do make scenery for the club.
Yeah.
You know, I still enjoy making scenery, but I'm quite old school. I still make it out of bits of polystyrene and coffee stirrers. I'm a little old school.
Any bit of spare cardboard and.
Oh yeah, my wife hates me because it's just my house is just full up with pots, yogurt pots, and lids and
packaging from inside new freezers and TVs.
Yeah. And I even take it like from relatives and people up the road. I go, do you want this?
Someone's having an extension down the road.
Yeah.
You got any polystyrene?
Oh, I love a skip dive. Oh, I do like a dive in a skip. They
don't want to do that where
the pipes from what they called washing machines. You get that ribbed pipe stuff. Yeah. That's really good. So yeah, I've got a shed full of it, and my wife hates it.
At least it's in the shed.
It's in the shed, so it is. There is that. There is that. It is in the shed. What am I doing here? Okay. So that.
I am finding these army paints very watery compared to what I'm used to.
Yeah, probably a better bit of a shake. Possibly.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think the reds are quite watery, so I will be giving this a few more coats, but just something so.
Yeah. You're gonna need to. Well, red's a difficult colour, isn't it?
I've been experimenting with this kit on my lunch break when I've been doing some painting and been mixing it with other brands like these sort of Citadel ones, which are usually my go-to. But I think you have to really work through the range. So I'm using Vampire Red. So at the moment it's looking quite thin. So, but I'm using it just to sort of stick a bit of a dark colour on and then hopefully brighten it up. But you have to work with these ones quite a bit. It's a lot of trial and error. I find.
Yeah.
Some of these are really good fun, like Rough Iron is a personal favourite, and the greys. When I was doing those white shirts on a street gang, going from was black to just a pale greys and stuff. You can get some really good transitions with them, but you do have to kind of really explore the range and kind of get used to the consistencies.
Oh, okay. I mean, it's like I think it's like with every paint range. Really, there's inconsistencies. Some of look at I mean, you find mainly the darker colours are generally better. Is what I find anyway.
I mean, I am using a very light blue. So.
You are, and yellows and reds are hideous. Yeah. In any, I don't think I found a paint scheme in anything really.
Yeah.
Right.
At the moment, it's going to look quite rough, but hopefully, when it dries off, I'll be able to kind of start putting some more solid colours on.
Yeah, sure. Well, you need to just build up the colours,
exactly.
Don't you? You have to build them up a bit. Okay.
So at the moment, I've been just using washes for my units. Just I think I mentioned. I spoke to you guys about it, gearing up to paint an entire set of Hero Quest, just using inks and washes and a little bit of metallic paint.
Hero Quest.
Yes.
How old are you?
What's that?
Oh, so young.
But yeah, so that's been kind of interesting recently, just working a lot more rather than the usual doing your base colours, then dipping it in the liquid talent to create different actually.
Liquid talent?
Yeah. Before, you remember before you even discovered washes, it was just you had to really,
Hey, I remember feeling cock of the walk when I got the Citadel Expert paint set. So, hey, I'm an expert now, everyone. The paint set said so. Seriously, that's what it was like.
Yeah, there's some great tutorials. It takes a bit of practice, and you got to really work on the blends. But it's been really good, up my painting game by just working with washes and and lasers.
You can do it. I find
some things will work better than others. So if you're painting a lot of goblins, as I found on my kind of formula for it, it's a really fun and quick way of building up units if you're into army building rather than just.
Okay.
But you can do it for more, like I said, for Hero Quest, I want to take more time with each individual monster and character.
Well, yeah, because it's almost like it's you'd say that Hero Quest is a board game.
Exactly, and the miniatures. I don't know, the miniatures aren't too bad to come by. Kieran on our in our team, he rather kindly donated a bunch of skeletons and mummies to add to my mass of plastic that has yet to be painted. So I'll probably practice on those ones first before I work on the heroes. And the big question is whether the sorcerer gets painted as Skeletor, of course.
I think so.
I see it a lot.
Why would you not?
Yeah.
Come on. Let's do it.
I'll at some point. I mean, I have some of the John Carter miniatures from the Kickstarter.
Yes, I've got some to do as
the
well.
Heroes of Barsoom one, and I kind of think that might be some of them might be a good one, especially for the I forget the name. So I'm a big John Carter fan. For the Green Martians, the approach for doing washes.
Thark.
Fuck yeah, William Dafoe. As in the
William Dafoe.
Yes, as it was in the hit film. No.
I'm painting my William Dafoe model today.
No, he did the voice of.
He did. Yes, he was the sort of chieftain.
Yeah. Quite underrated film.
It's all right, actually. Yeah, it's all right. I quite like underrated films, though.
Yeah, I think it was. It's a film like The Rocketeer. It's one of those ones you can watch on a Sunday afternoon.
Nothing's like The Rocketeer.
Nothing's as good as The Rocketeer, but
nothing's as good as The Rocketeer.
It's a red rocket. We segue.
So I've just got someone in chat saying it might be worth getting close-ups of the stages of painting and building of the kits for pictures to make a walkthrough later. Yeah, I will be. I'm actually, because it's the first time I've done one. I'm just feeling my way through it at the moment.
Yeah,
so
there's a lot in this kit, and once you get a feel for it, it does fit together. There are a couple of bits, like a lot of these kits for any range. It can be a bit like a lot of trial and error, making sure things fit in the right direction.
Yeah, so I'm just dry fitting at the moment, and then once I know, once I'm happy with, I know what I'm actually doing, I shall put some up to the close-up camera on and show you what I'm doing before I crack on with it.
Yeah, it's worth doing a bit of a dry fit with this this set, especially if you're going to be transporting it to clubs and things. So when we went to QuakeCon, I did a dry run in the office just because I wasn't sure what the environment would be like setting up, and it was very low lighting, neon smoke machines.
Oh, wasn't it?
Yeah,
lots of metal.
It was pretty good.
Lots of heavy metal going on.
But in a low light atmosphere, pre-assembling some of the bits is not a bad idea. But I'm sure not all of you guys be playing in such places.
Yeah,
it was sparklers shooting.
It was very sort of 90s German industrial, wasn't it? QuakeCon.
It was the year of doom.
It was the year of doom at QuakeCon.
Yeah.
It was good fun.
I think it was the first one for Bethesda over here. It was good. It was nice to meet people in the extended Bethesda family.
It was actually, yeah, it was nice, and a lot of people who work for Bethesda but never seen our product. That was yeah. We had loads of people come over, and and there was one guy, wasn't he? He came over and did a massive sale for his I think his son.
Yeah,
possibly. He said, his son said, "Can I?" And
I think sometimes all you need, is the right game to get you into tabletop gaming or bring you back, because there's always people who start off with things like Hero Quest and things like that, and then.
Sure.
Always, but there's a lot of pressure on people who I think always give up these hobbies, fairly early on. Suddenly, as an adult, we have expendable cash.
Do we?
Well, that's the next part of the problem.
I can't wait for this expendable cash.
Well, we did have.
We take it from places that need it, such as the bills.
We rob Peter to pay Paul.
Yeah, no, we did have expendable cash when we discovered wargaming or tabletop gaming of any sort.
It's like I think there's a meme doing the rounds at the moment. It's like Lego made me a millionaire, and people go, "Really? How?" He goes, "I was a billionaire." Oh. So yes. Alright, so I think I'm getting all of a fluster, but I think I'm getting there with this.
Yeah, it's quite easy to put together, really.
Yeah, it's just, I say, I'm a little bit inexperienced with this type of shenanigans, so...
Yeah, I backed one of their Kickstarters, so I've got the big, the big dungeon.
Well, didn't we not use them in the role play, not last one.
Yes.
Before the sort of crates and stuff.
Yeah.
Was that one of them? It was good. I mean,
we use a lot of this sort of battle system stuff when we're testing.
Yeah. Because it's modular. So.
Yeah, I mean, it certainly has its place. I mean, it's pretty cool stuff. And I can see once it's like all fixed together, it's it looks great.
Mm. Yes, Fallout Fridays is coming back in a few weeks. It looks like because we've been working on a scenario for it.
Yeah, that's something we were testing out like today and yesterday, and it's going to be a lot of fun. I think you guys are really going to enjoy it. It was certainly a lot of fun putting together and testing out what we've got planned.
Oh yes.
So is this like a custom scenario then? Or?
It is. We were given a brief to use some of the larger terrain pieces we have next door.
Right.
And left to our own devices.
Yes.
Maybe not the best plan.
Game developers gone wild.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Like some of that. That's good.
No, I think you guys are gonna, you're gonna really enjoy what we've got planned.
Cool, that sounds good.
If not, you are mad people because it was exceptionally fun. Honestly, like we had
a final playthrough of it this morning.
I mean, me and Ethan, we play Fallout obviously most days, part of our job, but I can honestly say we have a lot of fun games, and especially when you test out new stuff. But this was one of the most. I think we both said this was just one of the most fun games to participate in. In a long time. It was just absolutely crazy. And that's something about Fallout. It's one of those games where it's a crazy game, and there's a lot. Sometimes there's different levels. To be you've got stuff in your base that get acclimated rules, but there's levels within levels, and some of that stuff really came out.
Yeah. Right. So I've just made myself a little bit of a revelation.
No?
You don't really need to follow the instructions as long as you make that shape.
Yeah.
You can put the walls in any configuration you like, really. Well, not any configuration. You can randomize them a bit, can't you?
That's pretty much how I.
That's pretty much it. So I'll just show that before I start adding some glue to it as well. So you got thick section, and I'll take apart. I'll show you what it is. So
you want to try and get it under the camera? Or?
I'll show it up to here. So you got each side is comprised of a small section and a big section, and they make up the sides of the structure. So I don't know if I can put it under there, and it might be a bit big. Wait, no, it's a huge. You can't see that. No, we won't do that. You can't see that. And obviously you've got the doors and the garage doors here and here and here, and then you've got a couple of internal walls. I think as long as you've got a door on the internal wall, which is take this off here, you're pretty much good to go, aren't you? Really, as long as you get bricks on the outside and plaster on the inside, because they are obviously double-sided, so you've got exterior and interior wall coverings. So that's good. That's see, I could have realised that and saved myself about 20 minutes. But it's fine. It's no problem.
I think as well. Have you played Fallout 4?
I haven't. No.
No.
I unfortunately I had to go at Fallout 76.
No, yeah.
I wasn't a fan.
See, when I put mine together, I didn't look at the instructions. I was like, I know what this building is supposed to look like.
Right, okay, yeah, because it is quite an iconic building, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, even I've seen it as a non-player to the gaming franchise, even though I know it's quite a popular iconic scene, isn't it? Iconic set. What have we got there?
I'm just playing with this painting. After a while, you start getting a bit of a feel for it. I'm getting some better colours. I think certainly the old too thin coats philosophy doesn't very always apply to this type of paint.
No.
So you can just a little bit, but you can spread it out a little, quite well. So I'm starting to get some better colours on it. Just smoother layers, and that's really.
But as we were saying earlier, I mean, with all paints, they're all different. So you can't really have a general rule for all paints. It doesn't really work.
So don't.
I mean, even down to if you're painting a wall in your house, it all depends what colour it is. On what you're painting over.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. You might need more than two.
You might need a lot more than 2 coats.
Yeah.
Because a couple of years ago, I painted every wall in my house white, just to give myself a blank canvas.
What type of white was it? Skull white?
It wasn't skull. No. It was B&Q own brand emulsion.
So that's exactly how you can spot a painter is when they describe colours in anything that sounds like a miniature paint, and I'm really bad for that.
Right.
I had that problem when I used to work at B&Q.
Yeah.
So I need a blue. All right, so like an ultramarine.
Like an ultramarine.
So ultramarine is an actual blue. Oh yes.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah, it is.
A Calgar?
Yeah.
What are you talking about, mate? Oh, sorry.
Yeah, the Thousand Suns.
A Night Lord's blue.
Yeah, definitely a Thousand Suns colour kind of guy. But yeah, I was just like telling to people in the office a while ago. Like, so as a child, my first foray into publishing was with the Royal Shakespeare Company, where we went to see 12th Night, I think it was, and we had to, as an assignment, I was probably about 10 at the time, we had to write a poem about the characters, and I described all the colours in the play using the Citadel red box. So everything was like blood red.
Snake white leather.
Yeah, they didn't go quite that far. I didn't have such libertine taste back then.
Snot green.
But yeah, it's kind of funny how
classic.
how all these colours just like they define my kind of colour perception.
Absolutely, no, totally.
So somewhere there is a newsletter with a poem where everything is described in the like 1989 like red box paint. So.
Well, I had like a kind of my education was in like art and design and stuff, so of course I had to do a lot of painting with oils.
Yeah.
When I was doing the fine art sort of blogs, fine art, not blogs, sections of a course. So of course you start using things like cadmium red and titanium white, and it makes you sound like Bob Ross. It's amazing, little phthalo blue for the sky, that kind of thing. Cool. Right, so I'm not going to glue that together because obviously what I will show the guys at home is obviously the base. And the base has a floor plan which matches up.
Yeah, so this is what I was saying about not removing. Although it's only a small bit of the edge, it just spreads out
it just gives it a bit more of a footprint. So when I do put a few bits of scrap on the outside, it gives me something else to fit it to.
Absolutely,
yeah. Now, do we use pegs to touch this down, or does it not?
It just, I mean, when we do it just rests. Obviously,
okay, so I can glue it down. That's not.
Yeah, you can glue it down, and that'll be.
Well, I'm going to start doing that.
Cool.
Yeah.
And while you're doing that, I think we might want a close up of where we're up to.
Yeah. Sure, go for it, guys.
So this is my patchy paintwork.
But that's only your first coat.
It's my first coat.
It doesn't look too bad on that screen there. But I imagine it looks worse on the stream.
Yeah.
This is Army Painter's Toxic Mist.
That's a cool colour though.
It's very Fallout.
I like it's very it's very Fallout.
It has some really great names for the paint. I'm red.
What vampire red?
So vampire red, yes. So I'm starting with a dark red to kind of start with. And it's quite watery. I'm just trying to build up, trying to get some smooth colours. At the moment, it's very patchy.
It is, yeah.
But I'm hoping that I can do another.
But then when you are go doing red over black,
exactly. Like I said, I'm going to try and build up to then a nice solid coat. This one, hopefully, then go to slightly lighter, and then a bit of a wash to make it a bit dirty, and then I can start playing around with like highlights and dry brushing to hide a multitude of sins.
Absolutely.
Well, I'm totally glad that you have a plan for what you're doing, because I am making this up as I go.
Red, lighter reddish colours, and a bit of wash. That's like the...
And possibly some chips?
Oh, yeah. Well, that's what I'm hoping to do if I can get...
do a bit of chipping.
Yeah, I'd like to, do a bit of the rivets and stuff. Because honestly, you can just get a can of, rattle a can of red and just spray it red.
Yeah, absolutely.
And they actually do look pretty decent
Yeah. I mean, I could have base coated that in Army Painter red.
Yeah, I was secretly hoping you had.
I did ask.
Yeah. Oh, did you?
Yeah, I was told.
Yeah, I said no.
Yeah, someone said no, do it in black.
God damn you, Ethan. At least you didn't do it in white. Although I'm using white a lot for my base coats. This would have been a very unforgiving.
I've started using white a lot.
Yeah.
I used to use black all the time.
Yeah.
I mean, all the time, but I've gone to white predominantly now.
Yeah, I use it especially for the washes I'm doing.
Exactly. If you're doing something like with washes, absolutely go with white.
Not that I want to give any other companies a free promo, but obviously the big elephant in the corner when you talk about painting at all is always the whole contrast paints and all that. But,
right.
But the Wraithbone primer, I think, is a fantastic.
Oh, okay.
I really like that. I've only got a few of the contrast paints, and I generally think I use the primer more and the touch-up paint than any of those ones.
Ignore me, I'm just breaking things.
I generally use the Wraithbone or just a grey to prime.
Yeah.
So
grey is fine. It's like
don't breathe in. There we go.
Friday night is just starting.
Yeah. Don't worry, guys. I'm only using a small amount. If anyone wants to know what the hell I'm doing, it's just super glue kicker. That's all it is, just to give myself a...
It smells fantastic.
It does smell good, doesn't it?
We're hotboxing the goldfish ball.
There we go. So it's fine. There we go. Look, that's all fixed on now. See?
So I'm recently enjoying using the Raiders. So spray away, Rhys. You know, that's
it.
Get into character, Giles.
Caveat: well ventilated room.
Yeah.
Which this is not.
It's fine. Right. So I wanted the canopy now.
Yeah. Anyone who has any other ideas for base coats and what you like using it for? You know, because I've seen some super mutants in the office next door. I've done in brown, and I was actually thinking of doing some super mutants. I thought brown would actually be a really good.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. So
varies what you want to do.
Adalas Mace Hand. Is that how you say that? Adalas. He's obviously suggesting brown is a good base coat. Yeah, absolutely right. Yeah, fur. You get natural fabrics. It's also good for red.
Yes,
Giles.
Yeah.
And it's also good for gold. It's a very good base coat for golds.
Yeah.
So yeah, brown is absolutely a good paint. Or if you're like me and you've got 30 flagellants to paint, it's brilliant as a spray.
Also, good username. So just a little other game segue. We have our own little in our development team, our own little Dungeons and Dragons group, and we're now doing a party where you're only allowed maces, flails, and hammers, and morning stars, because those are the kings of fantasy weapons.
Oh, okay. That's cool.
So
That's cool.
We're playing 4 high elven brothers. No, half elven brothers.
We're trying to min-max the hell out of Ghost Assault March after our initial party died before it was level 2. It was really embarrassing, so we decided we're going all out clerics and paladins. Maces.
Amazing.
Yeah, so I'm a big fan of anything with maces and flails. I think they're just really funny weapons to look at.
Okay, I'm on the canopy now. There we go. So I'm starting off with this. Needs 2 straight clips and 6 90-degree clips. That's good because I've got 2 straight clips. That's handy, everyone. Jetson J says, Rhys is an Empire veteran.
What does that mean?
I'm not entirely sure.
Could you elaborate, Jetson?
Yeah. Yes. We had to hear the sordid past of Rhys, our sales manager.
I don't have any sordid past. Changing the subject very quickly, if anyone's got any images of scenery they've built or miniatures they've painted, chuck them up, send them on, chuck them up. Well, we can see them. So anything you put in the stream, in the chat, we will see them. And, if you want us to comment on them, we can. I'd love to see what you guys have been up to. It's one of my favourite pastimes is looking at other people's stuff. I was an avid collector of White Dwarf until they ruined it.
Reliable.
No, it's when they made it all. I took all the. I made 2. One was just adverts, and then the other one was all pictures.
That was the weekly one, wasn't it?
Yeah, the weekly one. Then you had like a monthly, £9 something or other, and it was all and it was lovely. And don't get me wrong, beautiful, fantastic models in there. But we have the internet.
Yeah,
I can find them, and most of these people post them on the internet.
Yeah.
It's not too bad.
I picked up a few recent issues. It depends on what's in it. If there's anything I collect, or occasionally you'll get some good articles on game design. But there was recently the Crimson Fist stuff.
It's got better now. Yeah. I picked up the. I needed the assassin rules.
Yeah. So
like every 40k player did.
It's a sort of magazine, not like the old days, blah, blah, blah.
Old days.
Olden
I
days.
don't remember them because
you're not old.
I don't think I was born.
No, you're not old.
So,
You don't even know what paper is.
The what? You mean laptop?
It's like a laptop, but you don't plug it in.
What?
Where's it? Oh, here we go. So Jetson J's come back. There was a game by another company. It was called Construction Tool for martial purposes or something like that. It was good fun, but alas, is no more. Like a lot of things, actually. Alas, they're no more. They're
Yeah.
I do like to hunt around.
So, I mean, obviously the paint's still drying, but you can kind of see like slowly, if you show that, Ethan, it's slowly starting to get a bit of a better definition of the red. Like it's taking a little bit, but bit by bit. Obviously it's a darker red that I'm using, but hopefully by the time I finish this coat off, it'll have covered most of the black up, and then I can go to a lighter one.
Look what I've done. That's not right.
So one tip with this is you will, and this was pointed out to me, you'll need to kind of flatten out stack bows because 2 are slightly smaller because they'll give the that's what helps with the tilt effect.
Right.
So
the small ones at the front.
I think the
or at the
small
back.
ones are
Trial
at
and
the back.
error, but you will need 2 of the same size on the same direction.
If I remember correctly, the small ones are
Yeah.
closer to the building.
But that's what gives it that kind of tilt effect.
And with although we've got the code for the red rockets, and for everyone bought, Giles will come around and show you how to build it.
Oh, well,
and because we said it on stream, it's true.
It's true.
So
The internet
if you
said
live
so.
somewhere particularly nice, Bahamas, if we have a lot of Fallout players in Bahamas, I'm more than happy to...
You know what, Giles? It says here, note, there are 2 different leg shapes. Make sure the longer leg one with the gentler curve is the frontmost part of the canopy. Now, I'd have known that if I'd have read the
So
instructions.
one of the most repeated phrases in the office for anyone who ever wants to get into game development is read the card all the way to the end. Something that we're guilty of when we're like testing new stuff out. So there's a free pro tip, as it were. Read to the end of the page or the card.
Yeah.
Because there's not a single gamer though who does that though. They just want to. Does it blow up? Well, read.
Yes, I remember working for a company, and our IT manager had a similar credo. It was, RTM.
By the way, that's do as I say, don't do as I do.
No, that was
Definitely don't read to the end of the
it was
card.
RTM, which was read the manual. So yeah.
The what?
The
manual.
the paper stuff.
Oh.
So I'm going to put a little spot of glue on these as because I have just bent one slightly. So I'm going to put a little spot of glue. I'm going to do it from the back.
And you're certain they're in the correct
I'm
place?
Double check before you do.
I'll
that.
double check, schmubble check. It's fine.
I mean, ultimately, it's a dilapidated settlement,
Right.
So it's fine. But if you want to go extra mile, get the supports in there the right way. 'Cause
I-
they will have to support one of these.
It does have to support the rocket.
So that's the thing you need to remember. Like,
And what I've done, I've just used the super glue as a bit of a weld at the back, actually. So that will do it now. I don't think I need any kicker on that, but that'll be fine. So I can put that to one side. I need a side. There we go, that'll do. Okay, what else we got? What else we got? That's the... Yeah. It's okay, if you see me staring off, I'm staring at the chat. So I'm going to make sure I don't miss anything from you guys. Okay, add to touch the front arc, add 90-degree clips to the side pieces. Aha, okay, I see.
please, can you also tell my D&D group this? What just have maces? I will not shame Charlie and tell you what he took into the game. What his,
Oh, you totally should. Shame him.
Oh yes. So when we were trawling, when there was 3 of us trawling through a haunted house, Charlie's primary weapon as the rogue and best fighter in the party was to take a whip, causing a mighty 1d4 damage.
Oh,
Refusing to use his sword, which at least given him a little bit more. And it was it sounded great until I looked up after the game after we'd all died horrible deaths. So I have strictly forbidden him from doing that again. But he was talking about dual wielding whips, and then I realised how terrible and situational that was. But
it sounds a bit like my
10
character
out of 10,
in
10 out of 10
the role play. He's amazing with his first hit of his baseball bat or his cricket bat. He's amazing. And then after that, he just whiffs everything. He's useless.
There was a 2000 AD comic. I can't remember what it was called. It was one of those sort of League of Extraordinary Gentlemen ones, where it was sort of famous people fighting against the Mythos, and they had Sir Arthur Conan Doyle armed with a cricket bat taking on the Mythos. I think it was called something like Imagination.
I think that was a
I
League of Extraordinary
remember what that
Gentlemen.
was called. It's somewhere I've got in the attic, but it was drawn by Disraeli and I think Andy Diggle, who's gone on to do loads of like DC stuff like Green Arrow and all that kind of stuff. But I
Okay.
remember, it's Imaginauts or something, but it's all like Tesla and Arthur Conan Doyle and Lovecraft fighting against the Mythos. It's a really good comic.
Probably H.G. Wells was probably in there at some point.
Yeah, there was something else in there, I can't remember. It was a very short run, but if you're a 2000 AD fan, why wouldn't you be if you like Modiphius? Then check it out. I'll try and remember what the title is if I'm on one of these streams again.
Very good. May have only made 1d4 damage, but had 3d20 for style
Yes,
points.
exactly.
Well, Charlie's all about the style.
Yeah.
Well,
Well.
his own style.
Yeah.
His own brand of style.
But,
Now, is that the lid I've got here? Because the lid would really help me with parts. Oh, it is the lid. Fantastic.
there we go.
That would really help me.
Sliding nice. How's your card coming along, Ethan?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, no, it's really building up now.
I've got almost a half of it with a layer that I'm happy with.
Yeah,
So,
mine's slowly coming together as one that
Yeah,
you slowly find like at last it's looking a little bit smoother. So yeah, that's a nice colour though for the
yeah, it's
teal.
Definitely.
nice 50s surf vibe.
So what was the
Yeah, definitely.
that rule about teal and orange or something, wasn't it? For maximum.
Oh yeah, they were
Yeah.
talking about movie posters and whatnot. And I think the cover to the Fallout role-playing game does something similar.
It's a marketing ploy. So by
Yeah.
having teal, I think it's not like an orange, like sort of reds and teals are so visually arresting that you're always drawn to it.
Well, red's the first colour your eyes notice.
Oh really?
Red is the
Ginger.
first. I'm not sure it's the danger of it. It's just the first colour your eyes register. As far as I'm aware, I did do a couple of months of colour theory when I was in university. Tell me about it. I wanted to smash my face in by the end of it. It was awful.
I did almost
My
3 years of
eyes
music
only-
theory.
Oh, isn't it? It's just like, oh yes. Well, you've got to paint it blue because blue's a regal colour. So, oh no, I painted it blue because that's what I had a lot of.
Interesting enough, me and Ethan went to the same university at different times, obviously.
Wow, did you really?
Yeah,
What was
yeah.
that?
Well, I left university. I won't say the date. No, 2003. So, but I did a
Oh,
communication.
you're younger than me.
That was 2 years before I went to high school.
Interesting note about being an old man. As we went to this QuakeCon, we were talking about seeing the first version of Doom. When that first came out, before my dad got a preview copy of it and brought it home. When it first came out, I played Doom before Charlie was alive.
Yeah.
So remember that.
Yeah. Totally. So me and Charlie went round QuakeCon.
So what year was that?
I can't even
It was
remember.
25 years
It's
ago.
So far over the
25 years ago.
Yeah.
Doom.
That must be before. I'm 25 now, so
Yeah.
maybe. I'm as old as Doom.
I was in my first year of university.
Doom is still a sick looking game though. I mean, it's gone crazy. I don't play a lot of video games these days because I get weird, especially if I play Civilization or Baldur's Gate, so I don't really play them anymore. But the new Doom, it does look, that and Wolfenstein, it's just crazy how much those games have developed. It's such an old man thing to say, but these crazy games. But yeah, they look absolutely sick though, and I'm really looking forward to checking that out along with Cyberpunk 2077.
Whereas I had a quick go of the new Doom, and I just found myself too old. We have a picture up on screen.
Oh, that's
Mama Murphy, painted
nice.
by Jim Bottick
With a recurve bow.
with a recurve bow. Yeah, I like that. That's awesome. I like that. Very cool. Yeah,
Some
that's
sort of chem delivery system.
yeah. That's a cool. That's a nice flesh tone as well. I like that. Yeah, very cool. Nice blues. The blues are. I like the fact there's 2 different shades of
I
blue in
think
there as well.
it just suits the posture really well, putting that particular item in there. So that's
Definitely.
really cool. That's actually one of the characters. I usually play survivors a lot in the office, but I've never actually used Mama Murphy. So
Where's the bow from? That's not a usual weapon, is it?
No.
Has it been taken off someone else or another line?
I don't think.
Compound bow. Yes.
Compound.
Oh yeah. Thank you.
Yes.
Compound bow. You can tell we're all archers here.
I mean, if Gavin was here, he'd have been on that straight away.
Yeah. And in fact, Gavin's probably pulling his ears off at the moment if he's listening. So that's all done. Look, that's all glued on. Look. Now what I've done, I don't know if you saw me do this.
Hold
for a
on.
while, guys.
Adolphus Mace hand is Gavin.
Is
Yes,
it?
That is Gavin.
Oh, Gavin. Don't know if you see this, guys. I put a bead of super glue around this ridge here. So I'm almost using it like a welding line. So I'm just squirting it in and then using the kicker just immediately set it. Now, if it crazes, what I mean by that is if it goes white, I'll go in there with some paint afterwards and just touch it up because you've got all this. Or I'll put some of my grit in there and we'll paint that over so it looks a bit
So
of...
when
Rhys is
super glue frosts up, is the only way to get rid of the frost? Painting over it?
Yeah, I'll tell you what you can use. Now, I'm not sure if it works. The frost is... You can, if it's unclear, like a clear canopy, you can polish it out with like some really fine cutting comment, like a T-cut.
Okay.
Something like that. You can actually polish it off, and like with a cotton bud, you can polish it off. What else? I'll tell you what does happen. This is a tip for you. You know, like sometimes when you varnish something with a spray and it goes white.
Mm-hmm.
That's usually because there's too much moisture in the air. Now you can get rid of that by painting over it with I can't think of the name. It's the Games Workshop paint that hasn't got paint in it.
Oh, the
Lamium medium.
Yeah.
If you paint Lamium medium over it, it doesn't get rid of it completely, but it knocks it back a bit.
Okay.
So here's a little tip for you. Yeah. Or I mean, I'll be funny. I guess like the Winsor and Newton.
To any medium.
Yeah, any medium.
Other brands are available.
Other brands are available. Any clear medium, you can paint that over when it spots, and yeah, you can, that will get rid of it. So again, only because I rarely listen to my own advice, and I did it the other day, and I was like, no, and then I was like, oh, what happened? And you know, yes, I'm terrible. I rarely listen to my own advice.
Do as I say.
So, what is your biggest mess up hobby wise?
Ooh.
What have you done?
Biggest mess up hobby wise? Starting this hobby.
Oh.
No, I'm gonna put that down there. Let's have a think. I've done a few. I mean, I've been painting miniatures for. Let's have a think. 33 years I started. I'm not going to tell you when I started because I'll give my age away. So I've been painting miniatures for about 33 years. Right, okay, so I've got an airbrush.
So you started painting when you were 1?
Yes, right. When I was -7, I started painting because I'm only 26. Quick maths on a Friday is not a good thing. So I've got an airbrush. I do have an airbrush. I rarely use it, but I do have one. And I painted up some lovely dinosaurs for an army. And I've done 3 of them because I was doing them all the same colour, you know. And I've done lovely scales of them and I airbrushed them. They look really good. And then I went into my little workshop and I grabbed my can of go around of varnish. I'll give them a quick coat of varnish. And I went, psh, and it was grey.
Oh no!
It was grey paint. It was Coat d'Arms. I've never found it. Coat d'Arms did a range of paints and varnishes all in cans, in sprays, and but they were all in the same colour can, and it was only the can lid that told you what was in it. And of course, I don't keep the can lids on my cans; they go straight in the bin, or I use them for water pots. Or mixing resin in. And so yes, I just went big stripe of grey along the coat of 3 dinosaurs. I spent about 4 hours painting with an airbrush.
I'd have given up by then. I mean, that's me for the day.
I wasn't overly impressed, I can tell you. I wasn't pleased. Fortunately, I still had the airbrush out, so I was able to quickly just go over them. And it wasn't that bad. It could have been a lot worse, but yeah, that was pretty hideous. I must admit, I wasn't overly impressed. What about yourself? Done anything?
Not to do with painting. I very rarely get to the painting stage.
Well, I think we all like that, aren't we?
Yeah.
None of us ever get to the really.
I did once try to make a true scaled Space Marine army though. And
did you use Terminators as a basis?
No, I used tactical squads. Cut them up, green stuff them. Plasticard.
Made them the old beakies. Those are the only true Marines.
You are so old.
And so as my friends can confirm, for about a year I had an army of just legs because that's all I could be bothered to do.
So you bulked them all out with green stuff and extended them and all that kind of thing?
Yeah,
lunatic.
Got to the torsos and went, can't be bothered now.
You know they make them now, right?
And then the Primaris got announced.
Yeah, as I say, you know they make them now, right? Primaris. I'll tell you. Preach it, Giles.
So Giles, you took a break from the hobby.
Quite a long time.
Oh,
yeah.
really?
Yeah. So the usual pressures of life. But it was probably a little before I moved back down to London. It's about 7 years ago. Predominantly because me and my girlfriend started playing tabletop games, and
so he wasn't totally out of the hobby.
No.
Doing gaming.
Then it was a slow progression because people wanted miniatures for our party or whatever, and I was like, I felt I started some paint. My biggest regret is some of the miniatures I used to have, which I no longer have, like the old school like Skaven Army, Screaming Bell stuff.
Yeah, see, I got rid of a lot of my stuff.
It's like been a slow and gradual thing, and I think it does help. I have a very supportive partner in that regard, and she likes gaming as well. But painting is my when I get around to it, and when I can actually get into the zone of just painting, it is my favorite part of it. And I think it started again by just getting a few models here and there to beef out like role-playing games, and then after that, then that's where it gets you.
Yeah.
When you start looking, you take that fateful look at a large A-tier gaming company's website of overpriced plastic, and you say, "Oh, I remember having that, but now that looks much better and cooler." Although,
yeah, but also, do you not think nowadays that board games, in general, they're sort of figures that you get with a board game now, are so much more advanced.
Oh,
you know, you can just use them for like as gaming pieces.
I think as well, like. I mean, particularly from a hobby perspective of like modelling and painting and scenery, it sounds such an old man thing, but the advent of YouTube,
Such an old man thing.
is I think some people
They're YouTubes,
but even in things like Instagram, which is is a great network of people on there. But it's like that stuff. It's amazing how you can up your skill level in such a short time. Whereas you had to stare for ages at all heavy metal pictures and try to emulate.
I could not even imagine not being able to just go to YouTube and go, all right, so I'm painting this. How do I do it?
Yeah.
Type it into YouTube, watch 2 or 3 videos, and go, all right, I'm going to try this.
Yeah, and I get an idea of a basic technique.
So foreign to me that you guys would have.
How do you think? All right, so obviously when I started, when I started in the hobby, our Games Workshops were not like the Games Workshops they are nowadays, when you can walk in and they go, "Hey, let me teach you how to do this," and "Hey, let me." No. They were smoking and listening to heavy metal and growled at you as you walked in.
That's how it should be.
But I kind of, it was trial and error.
Yeah.
Me and some of the guys I was gaming with, it was all trial and error. Yeah. And I think I had like a shelf after about 2 years of all these random figures. Because I was just a painter. I just started off as painting. The gaming side of it wasn't, because I was always into like Airfix kits and Revell kits and that kind of thing.
It's Tameo cars with the Penguin were really awesome as well.
Yeah, so I was into all that sort of stuff. So it was just a logical progression, really.
But yeah, I mean, for me as well, like it was sort of the board games of the day, which were like Space Crusade, Hero Quest, Space Hulk, all those sort of things.
Yeah.
Fighting fantasy books, which are
my daughter loves those.
Yeah.
My daughter loves.
I know it's probably not worth a lot, but I mean, the first time I went to Dragon Meet, the Modiphius event, was about a year ago, and actually got it sounds weird. I mean, Ian Livingston's probably signing things all the time, but it was actually really cool to see.
It's easy to find something that hasn't been signed by anyone.
Yeah, true. But there was that thing. But for me, the 10-year-old in me, because I moved around a lot, like my parents being in the army and stuff. Things like fighting fantasy books and stuff like that, Dragonlance novels and that were such a huge part of my childhood. And you see a guy like that who was signed a copy of I know it's the new version of Death Trap Dungeon or whatever, but that was really cool, though. Just that connection back to when I first started gaming, where it was, like you said, guys with long hair with scowl at you for going to games workshop. And that old school heavy metal aesthetic. I think that's what I still like in my gaming. I mean, I like newer stuff, but that sort of thing is that's my jam, is it?
Cool. I'm just going to interrupt you just there. Rhys and I had hand-carved mammoth bones for our first figures. Yeah, they were ivory miniatures. Hashtag don't touch ivory. Sorry, I've just had a thing. Rhys, have you tested those struts? Are they in the right place to fit the rocket on them? Kind of. Yes, they are, because I get the bend. So they are in the right place.
I thought what he thinks means is, can you place the rocket on top of them?
It's dry, so do you want to try?
Okay, I can.
Yeah, so the red's looking a little bit better.
I think we're a bit of squeezes.
Yeah, a bit of squeeze with super glue.
Yeah, that'll go on. Honest. I'll send you another pic.
Oh, cool.
Okay, so we're looking out for another picture, are we? Rhys and I hang on. Let's not talk about when I were a lad of miniatures are like, because we'll get into that whole subject. All old people go into is like the cost of them.
Yes, yeah. I mean,
but the thing is, there are so many things out there nowadays. If you're clever and if you're cunning and if you're wily, where you can. There are so many. I mean, I actually go and get an awful lot of janky old toys from eBay and Amazon, and I repurpose them. And I think because I can build and paint.
Yeah.
I can turn a £1.50 cannon into a basilisk. You know, so I'm not going to spend 30 quid on whatever they are now on a basilisk. So, and this is why this is that's why I've got my little craft section, because that's I can I'm quite good at turning bits of random junk into things.
I think there's also a real good movement about, particularly with terrain stuff. You see a lot of YouTube channels where it's the whole, got a spare Amazon package, you can turn that into a battlefield or a dungeon.
I'm all down for that.
I'm a big proponent on I think it's good to buy high-end stuff, particularly Modiphius miniatures, plug. But I think there's also a really good thing, particularly with scenery and stuff. It's cool to augment the stuff with your own thing and really immerse yourself in.
Well, I mean, it's like, exactly. I mean, but I'd like to save my money up for that centerpiece now.
Yeah.
Especially with miniature gaming, because especially if you're doing mass miniatures.
Yeah.
It's nice to have that one big cool piece, but I can't afford.
Armies.
Well, I can afford armies. I can't afford the grief I get from my wife, to be fair, who is not a gamer by any stretch of the imagination. So
I think I am intrinsically drawn to the more skirmish level games, because you can try lots of different things out and not be just locked in.
To be fair, I find myself playing more skirmish-based games now.
Yeah, I mean, I know there was always at one point it seemed to be a bit of a dirty word or something, but I think it's great to see small level games, and also you can do more armies or war bands,
dropping things. Yeah, no, I've found much preferable, and also I can do 2 or 3 games a night.
Yeah,
with a small game.
Cool.
So we've got R Tyler 7071. Since you're talking age, I got into the hobby with the original Steve Jackson Car Wars game. Didn't we all? What an amazing game that was. Yeah, that was kind of like Gaslands.
Oh, right.
So for the young people out there, for the young folks out there, it was kind of Gaslandy. I think it was the same sort of scale as well, actually. I think it was that one in 72nd.
I'm old, not that old.
I think it's in the 7-second scale.
So you got your toy cars, your strap guns to them.
Pretty much, yeah. It was good.
There's so many cool games like that. Like there's one Junked where you can buy the PDF for £5 and it gives you a proper modelling guide, how to construct a highway out of a suitcase and use Matchbox cars.
Sweet.
We love Matchbox and Hot Wheel cars. Right. When I get some more Cyberpunk 2020 going, there'll be more vehicles.
I didn't have Hot Wheels. We had Matchbox. Hot Wheels were
the rich.
No, Hot Wheels a little bit later, unfortunately. Later, Hot Wheels came later. I was out of cars by then.
Yeah. And into the more lucrative
much more gaming. No, as a kid, I didn't really have cars at that point. So that's when in Hot Wheels. I mean, I did get some Hot Wheels, but that was mainly for when I used to do Auto Duel Quarterly magazine. Tyler 7071, you are really old. I think you're older than me, my friend. I did use Hot Wheels, and what I used Hot Wheels for was when I used to run Star Wars roleplay. Because Micro Machines, they did Micro Machines, Hot Wheels. Was it Micro Machines, Hot Wheels, or the same people? I don't know.
I definitely had some.
And they did some Star Wars ones. They did loads of different ones. And I used to use them for Space Combat in the old West End games. West End games version of that was a D6 our role-playing system.
So I'm not too versed on the whole role-playing.
Yeah.
No, I mean,
I'm still getting used to it.
Well, essentially each skill you put a certain amount of dice into. And then the GM would then set a number against it. So if you had to repair something and your repair was 4d6, obviously the maximum you're going to get is 24. And if it was 20, you roll it. Then you rolled another dice, which is a wild dice. And I think if you got a 6 on that, you auto pass. It was a bit like an auto pass, auto correct kind of, auto fail kind of thing. If memory serves, it's been a while.
Yeah, I mean, you're sort of just getting used to sort of role playing games. We're trying to find some ones that because
before I'd worked here, I'd never played a role playing game.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Which is weird for this company.
Well, yeah, because we're predominantly.
But you are working in a war games department, so that's
absolutely correct.
Yeah. Exactly. That's more than.
But no, I mean, you've already played a few ones like I hope you enjoyed the Cyberpunk game.
I'm enjoying Fallout as well.
Yeah, Fallout's good fun.
Fallout's very wacky.
I think sometimes it's just what you feel comfortable
Yeah.
with setting-wise.
It's the setting, I think. With Moles Row, I mean, I'm sure there are probably role players watching at the moment who are screaming at us, but I think setting is does an awful lot to do.
Yeah.
If you're not particularly a sword and sorcery kind of guy, you're not going to like D&D, and vice versa. So it's different horses, different courses, really. So I think obviously there are more crunchier systems. There are systems out there that take every variable into account, and there are some systems out there that are more narrative, not really based on of what you're rolling. They're more of a narrative based thing. So, but I quite like narrative. So I mean, I started off before I got into miniatures. I did role play. I used to do the Marvel superheroes role play back in the day. So I quite like the narrative of role play. And I like narrative games. I really like.
Well, you're working for the right company.
Oh, well, absolutely. And that isn't. No, that sounds like but no. I mean, I've been into a tournament towards the end of the year, and I'm in the narrative tournament, not the big boys tournament. Because although I've been playing gaming for like 33 years, I'm terrible at it.
Yeah.
I'm really bad. So
I'd rather have fun than win.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And that's my excuse.
Yeah, exactly. That's what people who can't play say. Oh, can we have a look at the painting progress, please?
Oh
John?
yeah. So I do apologise.
We can. Oh, hello, Mr. Handy, painted by Jim Bottick as well. It's all going on today. He's cool. It reminds me of Shandleton though, so I've got a bit of PTSD with that, Mr. Handy's.
Did Charlie borrow my Mr. Handy for one of the streams? Did he?
Yes, I think he did.
I think we used it Wednesday.
Yeah. So that's cool. Mr. Handy's really fun to paint.
Because all our Mr. Handy's, a lot of our figures are off in Gen Con at the moment.
Yeah, so you might see my Mr. Handy again on the stream.
Giles' Mr. Handy is quite unique.
Yes.
What is his painted across his chest?
Well, he's called Buzzkill.
Of course he is.
So make good use of that technical blood paint.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I don't normally like coating blood on my minis, but
no, I've never been a fan of.
Outside of being 13 or so, I kind of, I have like Corn Army. So far you can have a look what I'm doing with the rock. Yeah, it's a little bit damp, but so it's going a little bit more orangey, so I might put a wash in that once I put this sort of...
kind of like a glaze, just to bring back that red back a bit.
Mars red,
it's looking good though.
Yeah, so I mean, I think it'll darken a little bit more once this one dries. Again, this is quite a watery one, but I'm starting to get a feel for the flow of it. So it's a design painters, it's trial and error.
I think one more very thin layer.
Absolutely, that's come up real well. That's really come up nice. That's much more solid. That's a lovely colour.
Yeah, that's really nice.
That's really nice.
Really pops.
So, I'm thinking of doing some Brotherhood of Steel.
Okay.
But I want to do it more rusty.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Like the one that's in the Scavers. The Scavers and Psychos. No, the Core. The Raiders Core.
Yeah, the Veteran Raider.
Yeah. So I think Brotherhood of Steel who are like, don't wash their armour. So dirty Brotherhood of Steel.
Brotherhood Outcast, maybe.
An Outcast.
Yeah, you were talking about the other day. That sounded really good. But I was doing some Minutemen, but either going super patriotic American or weirdly communist Minutemen because
communist Minutemen
funded by the Reds.
Yeah, I haven't decided yet. I need to sort of think about it because it's. I enjoy the survival factions, and I've been using Minutemen a lot this week, and they're real fun.
Yeah, I'm turning a Raiders core box into some Atom Cats.
Yeah, nice.
So I'm going to shave file off all the hair.
Okay.
And try and sculpt on some, greased back.
Some pompadours.
Yeah.
Well, some of them have already got little known fact about me is I actually have an NBQ in barbering.
No.
Yeah, that's actually the reason why.
Sorry.
That's why I actually moved down to London originally. It was
to be a barber.
Yeah.
Wow.
And some of the sculpts have that kind of classic shapes, kind of cropped on the side and side parting. So you've already got that on there. So but you can really model some cool pompadours. I think be good. So yeah.
Well, it sounds just like so. I can have some of them.
I'm a retired barber now.
I can have some of them in the cool leather jackets, and then some of them in their power armor that they painted like hot rods. Yeah. So they'll have like flames on it.
That's a cool idea.
They have the Mad Max theme down so well, the leather jackets. I think when I was painting Soul Survivor for an office game, I wanted to go for like Mad Max 2 vibe, and those Raiders have that look.
Oh, the Raiders definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Raiders definitely have got that down.
Yeah, it's really cool. I mean, I hadn't played Fallout before I started here, so I was a bit of a video new. But my frame of reference for everything Fallout is Mad Max 2, which is the Mad Max. I'll say, is it quadrilogy now? I don't know how it fits in with Fury Road, but all those.
Well, no, like Mad Max is one of my jams.
Yeah, so the way people.
I have never seen the original Mad Maxes.
So the way
really
people
good.
talk about
only
Star
seen Fury
Wars,
Road.
Mad Max is my Star Wars. That's probably
Yeah,
said
yeah.
a lot about my childhood and how it warped me into the person you see before you. But that's my frame of reference. Everything Fallout is Mad Max.
Sure.
But yeah, I try to educate Ethan on these things. Like we were playing Cyberpunk and said, just watch RoboCop. That will tell you everything. But they're resisting me. It's like, no.
Still haven't seen it.
No, and we will not talk about Cyborg Copy.
Cyborg Cop is the greatest film ever released.
That's funny because he kept on talking about that. And,
I've seen Cyborg Cop.
It's great, isn't
It's
it?
brilliant.
The thing is, you guys kept on talking about it, and then I went for a weekend break to Swansea. As my girlfriend was doing a comic fair,
There is a
and
Swansea.
in the hotel there was a copy of Cyborg Cop on the free to any good home kind of tape.
Please take it.
It's the other DVD they made.
Yeah,
I got one. That hotel got the other.
it's a regret that I didn't pick it up. I think we were just in a bit of a hurry to leave that morning, and I was just like, I just got some thinking about a lost opportunity there.
So one of my things is I love terrible 70s and 80s sci-fi. Like, love it. Like,
Would you include Buckaroo Banzai in that?
Shame on me.
Buckaroo Banzai is an amazing
What have I
film.
done? Or what have I not done?
I
What have
wanted
I
Ethan
not
to paint it
seen?
in a 50s mint green.
No, it says Ethan, shame on you.
Not seen Mad Max.
I've
that's why.
seen Fury Road.
No. To be fair, I will say that Fury Road is an absolutely excellent addition to the Mad Max world. I when I saw it on the first day, that was like how people go nuts over seeing Marvel films or Star Wars films. Getting to see that like up close, it was eye-bleedingly good. The detail in that film is
Eye-bleedingly good.
Yeah,
it was good. It is a great film.
You just all the detail. There's just so much in there which a lot of films don't do with their sort of the fancy CGIs.
And from the man that brought us Happy Feet.
Yeah, George Miller is a very strange man, but as someone who goes to Australia fairly regularly, it's not too far off the truth.
Yeah. Although it was filmed in Namibia.
It was actually
Namibia. Namibia. Yeah. So where's my special bit here, Giles? It's saying use the special bit. I've got the wrong one, haven't I?
The special bit.
It says use the special bit to connect these two. What do I connect these two?
That is it.
No, that's too acute.
It's supposed to be.
You can just.
I know, but if you put it on there, look, that's how it should be.
Yeah.
And that's too acute an angle.
No, it's actually meant to be at that.
Yeah, it is that one. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's actually correct. Yeah.
So it goes a bit more for
because it just makes it easier for when you want to take the lid off and reveal the inside sort of schematic.
Okay.
I shall not. No, that's looking.
So have I made this wrong then?
No,
that's why is that? Because if I do that,
well, it will fall when you put it in there.
Oh right, so there's a bit of weight behind it.
Exactly. Yeah. No, that's actually the bit I always struggled with this as actually the trimming. So the fact that you know.
I have glued it.
I've
glued it. So what I've done, I've put these on. So I'll just explain actually. So what I've done, as I've put the little L brackets on, I've just dotted little bits. I can't quite see.
Oh, I can see it. Yeah.
I've just dotted super glue on each one. So I haven't glued the whole thing all the way around. I've just dotted it in places to give it a bit of a firm, and with the sign's been glued on here, and I might just put a little dot behind the tail end of the rocket.
Stop it moving around.
Well, the C that's dropped, and then that would just give it a little bit more structure to it. So yeah. And then once this is done, then I can start then attaching it to the base, and then it's just onto the spares. I think the spares and.
Yeah, that's good. It is such a good piece of kit. It really is.
Yeah. So I'm probably going to glue it all down. It's just like a standing.
Yeah, because you can move that back. It just bits in a little bit.
So I'm probably going to glue that on.
But you
because I want it to be a static model.
It does all fit in the sense that you don't need to glue it down. And
I'm making this more a permanent model.
Oh, sure. But
I think maybe if you glue these 4 bits down and then this bit to the top, you can still pull this bit on.
Yeah, I think you could be right there.
Inside.
Yeah, that's probably the best. Yeah, the better solution.
But for you guys at home, though, I mean, this whole kit, as long as you kind of do sort of rough assemblies, it fits, it balances perfectly. I built it so
like all I've done. I mean, all that's been glued on is because I just didn't want these pinging off as I was putting the other ones on.
Yeah,
you don't need to glue it. I'm just making it a little bit more of
a
rigid structure because I want to add some stuff to it anyway. So, but yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. So.
Oh, I see. Yeah. Place on top walls with slot lined up with the special clip. How many people use a special clip to attach canopy to walls at correct angle? That's what I've done wrong. What I've done wrong is I put that in upside down. You do that, and then that goes in there. You see, somehow.
Rotate. There we go. Hold on.
Have I got it the wrong way around?
That way.
In one of these.
To that one right there.
To that one right there. And then that gives you the bend, is it? Is that right?
Yep.
And then that slot. I see. So then I can glue that all down. And then that slot, we'll just go over that.
Oh.
Look at that.
As if it was
almost as if it's designed like that. Madness. Crazy madness.
It's quite, I mean, sometimes when you paint pieces like this, I mean, they may not look, they may just look like, oh, you just, one colour or something, but it's actually quite a interesting little thing to paint in terms of building up your layers and
I'll say you're doing red, so it's not the easiest colour on the planet.
It's looking like a carrot, but
the red carrot playset. Playset? No, not the right word for it.
But high quality resin scenery or something. It's been quite a, especially with these army paint ones, because it's quite thin. It's almost like this sort of super thick glaze is how I'm treating it almost now. So it's like into like wet brushing almost.
Yeah.
To really get it to sort of.
So I'm just marking out. That's right. I'm just marking out where this red rocket's going to go on this base. So I can.
Let's have a look at his warband.
Jets J. That's cool. What's that painted by? Jets and J. Yeah. Oh wow! So there's some mongrels. Yeah.
They're the super mutant hounds or.
Super mutant hounds. So were they the things we set fire to on Wednesday?
No. So mongrels are, let's say, like wild dogs.
Okay.
So
right,
undomesticated dogs.
Right.
It looks like there's a brute there.
Yeah, brute.
Is that Hammer? I'm not too sure.
That is. I think that
might be Hammer.
That's Hammer, and it's actually just assuming with a nail board, is it?
Yeah, it looks like
the paddle.
Very, very cool.
Very nice.
And the bases blend well with the
bases blend really well. I'm also interested in that piece of scenery as well. That looks like an MDF kit.
Yeah. Looks like so. It might be on our neoprene mat as well. It looks like.
Yeah. So that looks like the neoprene mat, and I'd be interested in is that MDF bit of scenery? It looks like it, but again, that's been weathered lovely.
Yeah.
Been weathered really nicely. Cool. Good work, Jetson J. So I've just marked out where the base goes for the main building. I've just done the corner, so when I glue it down, I've got a guide. Now, I know people are probably looking at this thinking, hey, hang on a minute, that's not very straight.
Oh, cool. Well done, Jay.
Oh, what's that? Best paint, one best paint at a tournament. Good man.
Wow,
man after my own heart.
I've never had that.
No, I am not a tournament or competitive painter at all. I am too slow for that.
Oh yeah. So I am going to go around once this is all glued. I'm going to go down with my Dremel and just give it a little bit of shape to the.
It's a bit of an unnatural sort of.
Yeah. So I'm going to go around. I'm going to sort of trace out here and go around it, and I will just make it a little bit more natural. I could give it a bit more of a natural curve. And then one thing, and one property of this stuff is it's a TT Combat house. Yeah. Oh, okay. Cool. Nice. Yeah. That is some good work, TT Combat. But yeah, one thing is actually, if you've got a biro, you can actually a strong biro. You can actually push into it, so you can do cracks and stuff.
Oh, like so a texture.
Yeah. So you can actually put a texture. I don't know if you can see that. So you can actually, and then you can, so if I use this section here, the end of the biro, and just bashed it, you can build up textures on it.
Oh,
yeah.
I'll see if I'll chuck it under the camera. I'm not sure you will come up.
Cool.
Probably can't see that because it's white, but yeah. So you can build up. Yeah, you can carve into it. You can build up textures on it. So it's pretty good stuff. And if anyone wants to know where to get this from, If you don't want to pay for it, go to your local...
Skip.
No.
Skip.
No. 'Cause technically, you're not allowed to steal rubbish.
Really?
Yeah, you're not allowed to steal. You can't take rubbish, apparently.
It's a free society.
Yeah, you can't take it. No, you go to if you've got like a sign company.
Cool.
So if you've got like Jeff Signs or something, or a Signorama or something like that, they're usually bidding this stuff because it's for offcuts. So just go in and they'll happily give it to you.
Yeah, cool.
Failing that, its brand name is called Fomex.
So imagine they have to pay to have it taken away, don't they?
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah, I don't think it's... Well, it's PVC, so yes, it's it's probably not great for the environment, but
Modelling is
if we
not
can
act-
repurpose it, and,
exactly, it's recycling. I've been recycling
since before it was cool.
Yeah, well,
As
me and Blue
environment-
Peter.
As
Who's
environmentally
he?
conscious as I am, I think that environmental activists sweat at the average modeller's house. All the plastic, it would just...
Which we've recycled. It's not gone into the ecosystem.
Yeah.
We've kept it in a shed for 40 years.
Yeah. It's got to go somewhere.
There's a patchy bit there.
Yeah.
Almost done on this base coat now.
There's a lot of those skips going on.
No, you imagine it's unsafe and illegal, I think. Someone could correct me, I'm sure. But I'm, as far as I'm aware, you're not allowed to take things out of skips and rubbish bins.
Who said about taking anything? It's like going in it.
Stick at the dump over here. That's another reference Ethan won't get.
Huh?
Yeah, exactly. So there you go. Look, I've been drawing on some cracked sort of tarmac.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
So once I've got me, I'll paint it all up on the base. That's actually indented in. I've just used a biro, no sculpting tools or anything, so you can just...
And then what, you'll fill that in with an ink maybe? Or...
Yeah, I'll just do an ink wash on it or something, yeah.
Cool.
Just, or, even goes... And Ricky's painting hack number 7.
Have I missed the previous?
You probably... Yeah,
Can you talk us through steps 1 to 7?
I've already said them, I just haven't numbered them.
Oh, right.
It's like one of my documents I send out. Fine liner pens. Like you get like the black fine liner pen, the black ones.
Oh, right, yeah.
And you get 0.3, 0.5, 0.1.
If you ask often, yeah, it's no fun that.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. Yeah, that is absolutely right. You can ask people.
I'm not talking about telling you anything. I just want to live in trash.
Yeah. So yeah, but no, fine liner pens. Fine liner pens for black lining. Absolutely. Why not? Why wouldn't you?
Yeah, I am currently painting the trim of my Adeptus Titanicus Titans with a golden Sharpie.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh,
yeah.
so-
I've seen people do it on what's the chaos flying thing that no one likes anymore? Is it Heldrake?
Yeah.
Yeah, all that weird.
The big turkey.
Yes, but all on the wings. You've got all that.
Oh.
And I've seen people do gold Sharpies or silver Sharpies, and then go around it with black fine liner.
Yeah, I always use a fine line to do any weird eyes on my space
Eyes,
race.
yeah.
Unfortunately, sometimes it looks like he's staring in a really weird direction. Someone will go, Stinky Jeff. He just sort of, he's the one with the plasma gun, and his mouth is open, and he just looks really surprised, and with one eye in the middle. He's actually my favourite, but...
Giles does come up with some incredible names for the pieces of his armies.
Yeah.
My favourite is his sole survivor called Fast Gary.
Fast Gary.
Fast Gary, patron saint of the Wasteland. Yeah,
He sounds awesome.
He's
I like the sound of Fast Gary.
Runs around the wasteland going zoom, zoom.
Yeah, I also name all my Gen 1 Sims. It's fine.
He does.
I like naming things. Again, it adds a bit of narrative to your games.
They all have occupations as well, or half-remembered programmed occupations. And then,
We don't let Giles play the Institute anymore.
no, Institute you guys are going to really enjoy them when they come out. They are super fun, and the models look great.
The models are very cool.
Yeah, just it's all about that relay grenade. That's
Oh no.
one day.
Giles has repeatedly broken scenarios with that relay grenade.
If ever I'm invited back onto a gaming stream and I can play the Institute, I will.
So essentially, what the relay grenade does, if you've not played Fallout 4, is it's a miniature teleporter almost. So you can have a Gen 1 synth throw a relay grenade, and a Gen 1 Synth will appear.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah. It's
Armed
basically
with a relay grenade.
Yeah.
Oh my
Which
word.
is how Giles does it. So he'll do a conga line.
Yeah. But the problem is they're very disposable, so you spawn one that dies, but if you get a chance to throw a grenade, you can create this sort of chain effect. I do not recommend that as a legitimate tactic, but
It's people like you.
I got in trouble the other day for using a really gamey Super Mutant army, which took a load of suiciders. Haven't played them before, and I had a lot of fun because normally I struggle against Super Mutants.
I don't think you were in trouble. I think it was that you were playing against Jono, who likes to play as the Super Mutants.
Yeah,
So-
he didn't like a taste of his own medicine.
That's what it is.
That's what it. Yeah, but they were really fun actually. Super Mutants. I haven't played them very much since I first started playing Fallout, but they're one of those factions. I think as you find newer stuff comes out, they don't become obsolete. So there's always a danger you find in some games where if the newest hotness comes out, the old ones get obsolete.
Of
But
course,
the Super Mutants and Brotherhood are they're still super competitive.
We're trying very hard to make sure.
Exactly. Yeah, I think that's the most important thing is to make sure that people aren't always trading in their old, faithfuls, as it were.
And that's the worst thing, I think, with any sort of game. Is,
Well, it's
well, it's a kind of term. It's kind of codex creep, isn't it? But
it's the good thing about
it's not because
Fallout
we don't do things like that. But yeah, exactly.
is that when new cards come out, if they're a weapon card, every older card can still
Of course,
use all the new things that come out.
Yes.
And that's a sneak peek at Wave 3 there, Steve, in the chat. Not Wave 4.
Ooh.
Yes, Institute is Wave 3,
Yeah.
and we have had permission to mention
Yes,
it. So don't
Oh, have you?
Yeah.
I kept very quiet just then. I don't know if you noticed.
No, we checked that. We if you don't see me on another stream,
If you see a job come up for War Games dev team, Giles wasn't allowed to say anything.
yeah, I think this is looking a lot better. I'm not going to go too crazy with that orange because I want to keep it kind of weather it, but it's So if you just show off on the camera, so it is looking a little bit orangey. So
Where's wet?
It's not too bad.
Okay.
But yeah, I find with this paint, particularly for these larger items, for good controllers, you want to get to almost like a wet brushing, like not quite a full dry brush. So we'll do some later on, maybe with some of these rust colors or whatever, or some edge highlighting. But because it's quite a wet paint for this sort of thing, you can just sort of build up like a dry brush almost, and it's kind of creating quite a nice
Sorry, the red rocket in the way there.
Yeah, it's looking real cool.
It's getting there, isn't
Yeah.
it? It's getting there. It's a great kit, actually. Once I got over my initial fear of actually putting it together, no, it's great. It's gone together really well.
That smells so good.
I'm trying to use it really sparingly and like little blasts.
Please don't.
We do not endorse substance abuse. What have we got?
So if people want to find out what is in Wave 4, it is officially announced in the latest podcast.
With James Sheehan. Nice.
Oh, that's real cool.
That's cool. Pumped to do, but I think I'm going to really focus on the rocket because I feel it'd be nice if we can get there into a stage where we at least got a rocket and a car outside.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean,
Well, how about this for geeky cool? I played Fallout 76 with James Sheehan.
Really?
Yeah, that was good. I died really quickly.
Oh, he was telling me you all played the new
The
game
new
mode.
winter something, the new game mode.
The nuclear winter.
And and I basically walked around for 30 minutes. I got attacked by a dog, which, and at the time,
so you're playing Fallout when that's the case.
I didn't have a gun, so I had to punch it to death.
That's very Fallout.
It's very Fallout. And then I walked around with everyone else. I then lost everyone because it was like a team deathmatch kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like capture the flag, I think it was. And then I lost everyone else, and then I got burnt by a firestorm.
Oh dear.
So this is where trying a different range changes your painting vocabulary because you're always looking for the equivalent of certain wash like Agrax.
I am looking for a brown wash.
So, exactly. So
Use my favourite, which is Army Painter Strong Tone.
Yeah, that's strong tone.
Do we have a strong tone?
It's
I believe
here.
so.
I'm just double checking what the colour is. So I was thinking of doing like a light brown wash just to make it a bit more dirty, or a black one. So this one.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
This one would be your
recesses
null, I believe. Strong tone looks like it's your
Strong
null.
Tone is your mid tone is your brown, and strong tone is your black.
So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to
I want a brown.
You want a brown, so you want mid tone.
We've got flesh wash and mid brown.
Mid brown, that's what you want.
So if
I'll give you that one back, Charles.
And you'll use these, and you'll never go back.
So there's light tones. That equivalent is it? Like I sense a brown.
It's a lighter brown.
Yeah, I might just give that a light one, then I put a black one over it. Or actually, I think
That.
I'll start with
It's
actually
not
the
as
black
runny.
one.
You could be a lot more.
Do you water it down at all?
I don't know. I leave them because they're not. They're slight. They've got thicker consistency, so you can be a lot more controlling with them.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't use the tins of dip.
No.
That goes against everything I hold.
So,
I believe. So I don't use the big tins, but I do.
so I'm gonna.
I do go for that. So that's pretty much done. So I've glued this all down here. So it's glued here, but not glued at this point. That's just resting in there, and then that quite nicely just slots into that. So it's mounted down. It's still sturdy. That would travel quite well.
Yeah.
But you can still get inside. So I'm quite pleased. What I might do, I might just put, because you can remove the roof, I might just put a few more bits of glue around these sections here, just to give, because they all bend and eventually pull off. So I'm just going to do a few spots of glue there, and then that kind of gives it, yeah, just along the edges there. And then I can add some other bits. I can do some painting now.
Yeah, nice. So
I know,
so
right?
What I'm going to go for the strong tone glue, the grimy one, and I might put then a light brown one on top of that before I start going to any dry brushing and highlighting.
Yeah, I'm being a bit liberal with this brown. I'm
Yeah.
gonna have to fix up some bits. But
Yeah, I'm
that's
just,
generally how I paint anyway.
yeah.
It's where it works, isn't it, really?
Yeah, fix your mistakes later.
Fix your mistakes later, that's it. Don't try and do it at the same time.
Yeah.
Otherwise you'll be picking up paints, cleaning out paintbrushes.
And I think sometimes with the beauty with things like Fallout is it doesn't have to necessarily be super neat if you want to go for a grubby post-apocalyptic look. You know, it's like, I mean,
to be fair, post-apocalyptic games are perfect if you can't paint.
yeah.
You know, a brown wash goes a very long way.
And I know that there's some people in the office who'll hate this, but it's like the whole blind Chitsu style of just like dark browns and washes and
I love that stuff.
Yeah,
I love that kind of Hieronymus Bosch. Sorry, my art qualifications are coming out.
No, it's well
that kind of, you know, that kind of dark.
It's weirdly, it can be a style which actually is very difficult. Some people,
it's not easy to do. No, it's really not easy to do.
Somebody says in the office, it's you dunk it into in a cup of tea, which I think is a little.
It's a little harsh.
It's a little harsh, but there are like
it's a controlled cup of tea.
Yeah, I mean, you can make it quite advanced. See, once people mix up actual oil paints with it and stuff. But with this game, you have a lot of liberal ability to it.
Yeah. So I've got the.
I should just like pour
the other things to do.
Like that, let this run down.
So I've got the other things to do, but I am gonna. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put those down there out of the way. I'm going to break up my crafts now. Let's move this. Chuck that down there. Right, so I'm going to put that in the front there. So that's practically done. That is it done. I mean, yes, it needs the rocket on top, and it needs some on the base detail and stuff, but that's the actual red rocket done. That's pretty sturdy.
Yeah.
That's
well.
You can game on it.
That's not. You can game it. You could probably sit on it. That's not going anywhere.
I mean, the test when I finish this curved wash, we can see how it looks with the rocket on top.
Yeah, that'd be nice. And I now need a paintbrush. I'm going to have to borrow someone's water though, because I didn't bring. I brought you in some lovely Vault-Tec cup mugs, but I didn't bring myself one in. And I need some. You're gonna see me bend slightly, I'm afraid.
There you go.
I need some browns. That'll do. What's that? Wet mud. That's a good colour.
Yeah.
And I need some orangey colours as well.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to need some rusted panels, basically.
So I've got over here. I've got dry rust and the Mars red. Which
we've got a dry rust.
Yeah. So I'm going to do a bit of dry brush later when the wash is settled.
So this way. Okay. Right. So yeah, the wet mud is the effect one, isn't it? It gives you the slightly lumpy.
Possibly, you might want to do a little test on that.
I think it is.
So,
if so, perfect.
There are.
Jim Bottic, looking forward to meeting the rest of the Modiphius family at Spiel. So please bring the whole company. Well, I'm definitely going to be there, Jim Bottic. I have my flights booked and everything. So yes, I will be at Essen Spiel. Any of you guys going?
No, I'm not actually.
We are not.
I mean, if there's a scope to go, anything need more bodies, happily go. I've never been to Germany.
It's a really, really good show. This would be my second spiel. And the one I went to, the first one I went to was about 12 years ago. So I assume it's changed dramatically. But it's huge. It's massive.
Yeah, I'm not sure what my next show is. Normally I'll be demoing stuff, usually Fallout or Act on Cthulhu.
Yes.
Stuff like that. So who knows where...
Well, I'm generally in charge of the stands.
Yeah.
Well, not in charge, but I generally run the sales side of it, so... Which is good fun. I do enjoy it. I've had two careers predominantly in life. It's either art and graphics, or some form of design, or sales. They'd be really polar opposites in that kind of thing. Alid is representing the War Games team. Oh, okay, yes. So Alid's going. There you go. So Alid will be in Essenspiel.
I'm sort of just making this up as I go.
Yeah, same here.
Well, that's
painting for you.
That's painting for you. That is our hobby. That's what we do.
So, are you guys painting anything interesting at the moment, or?
Yeah, I am actually. I'm.
Hopefully you're not painting boring.
Yeah.
This is
no.
When you're painting armies and stuff, sometimes it has to be rank and file.
Yeah, I'm not painting. No, because I tend to do army because I'm playing narrative games. I tend to not paint rank and file anymore because I've painted so many rank and file miniatures. I don't want to do it anymore. So I'm doing some Chaos Knights at the moment. But these ones are converted, so I've made them to look like the original epic Chaos Knights.
Yeah. Oh, nice.
So I'm doing them. And the Slaneshi as well, so I've got two at the moment. And I've named them, because I like naming things. Well.
Yeah.
They are Nausea and Phobia. And if anyone knows what that reference is, I'll be interested to find out. That'd be quite good. To find out where that reference has come from. What about yourself?
Greek mythology, is that?
No. It might be, but I'm not getting it from Greek mythology. No. It might be Greek mythology, but no, I'm getting it from pop culture.
So I'm just I'm gearing up to do my big Hero Quest project.
Yeah.
But at the moment, I've got some miniatures from Antediluvian Miniatures. So they did a set of Dungeons and Dragons of the 80s cartoons, but as them as adults.
Oh, nice!
So there's a couple I've got which I kind of want to strip some. I have some of the pig-faced orcs.
Pig-faced orcs.
Yeah, which are from the cartoon. So there's some I started painting, and I wasn't happy with what I'd done with them, so I think I'm going to try and strip those at some point and start those again because they're quite fun. I haven't done the Cavalier yet. I was really looking forward to that, so I've saved him.
Interesting fact about that. Do you know who did the voice of the Cavalier?
Oh no, I looked up some true about it recently, so I thought I should know that. But who is it? Anyone
else? Anyone knows who knows that they did the voice of the Cavalier in the original Dungeons and Dragons cartoon?
Cowardly Eric, who's actually the most
the
most logical of them all.
Well, he's most useful. He's got the big shield that protects everyone. Let's just wait and see if anyone in chat knows. I'm sure if Gavin's watching, I'm sure he knows. He did the voice.
Cavalier is not a legitimate. No, it is.
No,
well, I can't remember. I've been reading D&D and I can't remember where it pointed, but they brought it back, and it sounds cool for people to ride stuff.
Oh, Casey Kasem. No, it wasn't. It wasn't Casey Kasem. Casey Kasem was Shaggy in the original Scooby-Doo. I guess I am a brush licker. No, Casey Kasem was Scooby-Doo. Shall I tell you then? It was Ralph Malph from Happy Days.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Donny Most. He was the voice of the Cavalier.
No, it's not Frasier reference, Ethan. It's fine.
It's all right.
The greatest of all shows.
All right. You don't know Happy Days, do you?
I know of.
I know all the. Well, they weren't all Happy Days.
They were hard to find or something.
Yeah.
So.
No, they were yours and mine.
Oh, a lyric I don't know.
Hey, Mr. Rhys.
I know of the Happy Days is the Fonz, right?
Yeah.
Yes, the Fonz was in Happy Days.
Yeah,
yes.
And Sharky.
And
Ron Howard.
And it was the start of Weezer's Buddy Holly video.
Yes, that was set in Alf's diner. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, that is to the extent
also,
of my knowledge of Happy Days.
The origin of the term jumping the shark.
Jumping the shark. Yep. That comes from Happy Days.
Because Fonz literally jumped over a shark on water skis, and that's where the expression "jumping."
Yes.
Yeah, that's where it literally comes from.
Oh, we need to make a story about that.
Yeah, well, way ahead of you.
There were at least two I know of, offshoots of Happy Days, like spin-off series. Can you name either of them?
Oh, there'll be
Unhappy
Joni
Days.
Loves.
That was actually no. So there's 3.
Oh,
So there's 3 then. Yes.
I don't know. I can say, or
I mean, you can wait for chat.
I'll wait for chat.
Yeah. Oh, that was the one that no one. Well done, Steve.
Was that Happy Day spin-off?
It was.
Oh.
Mork first ever appeared in a Happy Days episode.
Oh wow!
And he fought the Fonz.
So, old person to young person.
Can we
translation.
talk about Fortnite or something?
How about the Teletubbies?
Yeah.
I saw something online that the baby that was
Yeah.
the son in the Teletubbies
She's about 21.
now has a baby.
Yeah, she's about 21.
So, the wash isn't quite dried yet, but we could probably just see
Yeah,
how it
Joni
looks.
Love Shartsy, well done.
So, do you want to do the honours? See if I mean it's still a little bit wet the wash, but it's not really.
I think I've ruined mine.
Oh no, it's got some nice little streaking. But do you want to see if we can fit it on the red rocket? So people get a little idea of.
So I'm looking at the chat. So we've got Mork and Mindy, Joni Love Shartsy. Yep. Oh, don't know the third one. I believe it was Laverne and Shirl, which is parodied in Wayne's World when they go to Milwaukee, wherever. How do you pronounce Milwaukee? It's in Wisconsin. Let's have a look at yours. Yeah.
Trying to just go for like streaks of mud before
Yeah, I like that.
and then pull off some of the paint.
Yeah, that's nice. It's cool. I like it.
I am in no way a good or talented at it.
No, I like that.
Any paint
I like that
style,
very much
either.
so. You know,
It's getting
that's cool. The wash is great, isn't it?
It's pretty good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's all right, isn't it?
It's a
Yeah,
bit,
yeah.
It's a bit thicker
Yeah.
than I mean.
Than you're used to.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I quite like that because you've got more control.
Right. Okay.
I just, yeah.
So I think I'm gonna reapply some of the blue back here. I don't like how it. I like this bit at the front.
Is that Laverne and Shirley you're talking about in chat, guys? Yeah. Yes, it's in Wayne's World. When they go, it starts off and they go. Have you seen Wayne's World? Do you know what
I've seen. I'm not allowed to watch Wayne's World because my girlfriend really dislikes it. So
Right.
I've seen it once or twice.
Okay, there's a bit where they go, it's just like a montage and they're like open the door on each other and they're in the bottling factory and he puts a glove on and it goes around.
I think.
And they've got like headscarves on. That's the start. That's basically it's a,
Right. Okay.
it's a pastiche of the Laverne and Shirley start. Anyway.
Right. Okay.
Some people are like, when are the young people coming back?
Is that Milwaukee, the good land?
Yeah.
I'm waiting for Napig to get back to me. Come on, Napig. Milwaukee, the good land. Is it the good land?
It is.
It is the good land, isn't it? Yeah. I'm going to blow on this.
Just one of the wash dry. I'm just going to get a bit of some really wet orange colour on here.
Oh, so close. Analyst Mate's hand.
Nay, sir.
Very close. It's Sisters of something.
Sisters of Mercy?
Sisters of Sin. Sisters of Sin. So, do you know Judge Dredd?
Yes.
You know the Dark Judges?
Yeah.
They are from the same dimension. And they were two female. Naugerophobia.
Maybe a Rogue Trooper film out.
Is there?
Yeah, the David Bowie's son's doing it.
I think they don't.
David Bowie's resurrected himself.
Robert England as Luke? No. No, Judge Dredd is not a spin-off from Happy Days.
Oh, I hate to have seen that.
It is the law.
In the law.
Yes.
Haven't seen that either.
What haven't you seen?
Judge Dredd.
Which one?
Any of them.
I'll lend you the Dread DVD. It's awesome.
Dredd's great.
Yeah.
Oh, you want some cyberpunk? You watch a bit of Dredd, mate.
It's a good film.
It is
Good
a
adaptation.
film. It is a good film. Yeah. Very, very true.
I remember
Considering
seeing
the budget they had.
I remember seeing the Sylvester Stallone one at the cinema, and I was very confused. The ABC Warrior was really cool in that.
Yeah, it was. It was like Hammerstein, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. That was actually the best bit. Was the ABC Warrior, and there was like a Cure song at the end, which didn't really fit with the film. But
And Induri was good in it as well.
yeah, there was actually it had Rob Schneider in there, which was
Yeah. Joan Chen? She was in it. Yeah, she's the evil scientist.
The great Armanda Sante.
Yes, and the even greater of Max von Sydow.
Yeah, it was it could have been a good film, but it was that thing where it's just the...
I think the ego had landed.
Yeah.
I think that was the problem with it.
Yeah, 2 fast years.
But yeah, the Dread movie is great, and I'd love to see a series.
Yeah. Well, they're going to do, like I said, they're going to do a Rogue Trooper film, apparently.
Well, that's great. I used to love Rogue Trooper. I used to have the board game.
And, I'm not trying to promote any competition, but there is a really good-looking Strontium dog skirmish game. We should get a license for something like that, 'cause that'd be awesome. Again, things like Judge Dredd and all that, 2080, I think that really informs a lot of my views on fantasy and sci-fi.
Yeah. So is it Witzo? Lucas did the auctioning in batches. If it weren't for Harrison Ford agreeing to be solo, it would have been completely different. Absolutely, I believe he didn't actually audition, as far as I'm aware. He was like a carpenter.
He was a carpenter, yeah.
Wasn't he like doing like Francis Ford Coppola's house?
Something like that.
And he'd been in American Graffiti. And I think they just got him into just read the parts, and they realised that he had a lot of chemistry with him, with Carrie Fisher and Mark Hamill. So, hi, casual painter. He says, hi all.
Hello.
Yeah, what could have been, eh? But Robert Englund as Luke, that's freaky. Can you imagine that?
That'd be great.
And Christopher Walken as Solo.
That's Freddy Krueger.
Yes, that's Freddy Krueger, the original Freddy Krueger, not the silly remake.
I've not seen it.
Have you seen the horrible B movie called 1000 Maniacs?
No.
To be fair, Ethan is just dedicated to modelling and painting.
What was the other one? Was it?
That's all that matters.
Yes, Tom Selleck was in the running for Han Solo as well. I don't think we could have. That beard was too good. Oh no, it was. Yeah, it was Indiana Jones. Yes, but I think he signed on to do Magnum instead.
Yeah, if I come back on another stream, I will wear one of my Magnum PI shirts again. I thought for painting, I will. I kept it a fairly neutral shirt. A little bit of a surprise for you all next time.
Magnum PI shirts. We should all cosplay as Charlie next time.
Oh, I tried to do that once and it didn't go.
Regretted it immediately.
Yeah, I rolled X's.
Apparently, we've got to take you to a video store and put some toothpicks in your eyelids to make you see some movies. Video store? Have we just gone back to Captain Marvel all of a sudden?
Is that what that was?
Yeah, that's a video store. Before the internet and Netflix, we all used to have to go to a big shop.
I did get the impression some people in the audience were very confused when I see Captain Marvel, and some people were laughing hysterically. The ones who have dementia and can remember that time period.
Yeah.
And the people were like, I don't get what's so funny about this. What's this Mallrats?
Oh, more, yeah, of course. Yeah, that was the what do you call it, yeah. To paint, it's Rhys only allowed to paint the board. You wait till I've painted this board. This board's going to be the most amazing board you've ever seen. I'm doing my arts and crafts. I'm enjoying it.
So I need to try to find a good red, which is going to make this brighter. That's not an orange. So I find a lot of these reds are very, very dark.
Do we have a red ink?
I think we do. So I might try and find that because
perhaps a bit of a glaze.
Ah, here we go. We've got dragon red. That looks quite nice and bright. So is anyone very au fait with the Army Painter range?
Back in the day, we had to rent a VCR from a truck stop to watch movies on Saturday afternoons. Wow. We rented ours. We had a thing called radio rentals.
What, you rented them?
And you'd go in. It was kind of like HP, like hire purchase. So you'd go in and you get a video or a TV, and you'd pay monthly or weekly.
Overtied you if you did not rewind it when you returned it.
Oh, no, I mean, no. I remember watching VHSs and obviously going to like Blockbuster and whatnot. But
yeah,
when at my age, we watched A Bug's Life. So.
It's the generation of the video nasty. Anyway.
Yeah.
How's that looking?
Yeah, okay. Yeah, definitely. I like that. So I like this because it looks like it's had like a blowout in the engine.
Yeah.
Looks like it's had an engine fire.
It's sort of the same at the back here with the exhaust.
Yeah, that's
like I say, making it up as we go.
Yeah,
yeah,
absolutely.
This is looking a little bit brighter now. So I'm not going to go completely over all the stuff I've done, but just like the large panel work, I'm gonna kind
No,
of
nice.
yeah, because I'm just a bit afraid it gets too. As much as I like that kind of dark and muddy look on some minis, for this I want this, at least be a bit brighter.
Yeah. So I've been. I don't know if anyone can see this, but I've been painting a bit of corrugated card. I'm going for a rusty thing. I'll see if I can stick it on there. Can you see that? There you go.
Yeah.
So just gonna let that dry off for a bit, and then I'm gonna put like a flick of silver on it.
Yeah.
And then I'll cut it up and I'll place it randomly.
Oh, nice.
So I should put that down there. And while I do that, while that dries, actually I'll put that there. And while that dries, I'm going to put some stuff around the edge of the base. I'm going to be using Rhys's patented secret blend of basing gravel.
How many herbs and spices are in there?
Well, there are 11 herbs and spices. Thanks, Witso. No, if anyone wants to know where I got the corrugated card, Paper Chase.
Paper Chase.
Yes.
Right, yeah.
Conveniently closing down there.
It is inconvenient. Yeah, local one's conveniently closing down.
Was it closing down?
Yeah, the one up the top of the radius. Yeah, the one up the radius. No, I don't know. As a chain, probably they all are.
Ironically, I used to work for a very large card personalization company.
Really?
Yeah. And I very rarely bought cards.
Was it swine based?
Yes, I will reserve my thoughts on the industry, but I used to go to Paper Chase all the time for that, so I'm glad they're not closing down, because I'd rather cut their cards than the ones I used to be able to get for free. That's libel. So,
but obviously other corrugated cardboard and paper shops are available.
Yeah, we're not endorsing Paper Chase in any shape.
In fact, you can just take normal cardboard boxes and just peel one side off, and that'll give you some corrugated card as well. Look at that.
I'm going for tinted windows on this.
No, I think you should paint them as smashed glass.
Oh. I wouldn't even know where to start.
Yeah.
Maybe this was the president's car. It's all tinted out.
Yeah. Or a pimp's mobile or something like that.
Yeah.
Why not?
Paint them clear somehow. Thank you. Yes. No.
Paint clear better. And suddenly there's no clear paint, is there?
Yeah, we're all out. Ugh.
He's a very creative person. Very creative young man.
He is.
As
He's
long
on
as
the
I'm
dev
not
team. He has to be.
painting. Oh, this is riveting content.
Yeah, I know. We suddenly got very into what we're doing,
Yeah.
and I'm only sprinkling sand. I mean, it shouldn't have been that intense.
So Rhys just like something like that.
I'm just flicking sand everywhere now.
Like flocking bay, what do they call it?
Yeah, that was riveting. Well done. Thank you for bringing that back, Ethan. Otherwise, we'd have just got really into it then.
I generally find paints is very, I'm sure everyone's very meditative, and I'll be there painting, chatting away with my girlfriend Sunday. She'll be chatting away and realise for like 20 minutes I've just been like slack jawed, just kind of glazing something and
glazing over at the same time.
Yeah, exactly.
So, is that part of the windscreen? That section there?
I think it is. It looks like a bit of a sliding roof, doesn't it?
Almost like
I think it is. No, actually no, because it hasn't got a ridge. Look, it hasn't got trim around it.
Yeah,
so no, it's not.
Like it.
No, it's not.
Oh, so I've got to go back and paint more blue because I've missed it.
You can paint a different colour.
Ooh,
Yes,
an accent.
sand. I've been adding sand.
Salt Bay. That sounds.
Salt Bay, that sand.
Do you know what Salt Bay is?
Is that a very young person's reference?
It's a Maymay.
Even I knew that.
A Maymay? What's a Maymay?
A Maymay, an internet Maymay.
Oh, you mean a meme?
Yeah, is that? Oh gosh.
Well, all this time. Let's have a look at your car. I haven't had a chance to probably look at it.
At my car.
Your car. Come, you're here in my car.
One moment, please.
That's
One moment, caller.
the Gen 1 sim song here in my car.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, here in my sim.
There you go.
See?
Giles' friend.
Thank you, friend.
Right, so there we go.
Yeah, it's nice. I like this. The streaking's really nice. That's one thing I'm not very good at is that kind of dirt dust effect. You know, when you get people who do really good, like caking.
Well, do you know what my secret is?
Not knowing what
I
you're doing.
put too much on.
Yeah.
That's my secret, Captain. I overpaint.
Yeah, that's my secret. I always put more paint on. Right, I'm going to use my standard brush again.
Wow.
We got a little bit of kitchen towel.
Uh,
You gave me some, Giles, and
There
I
you
put
go.
some. Legend. That'll do. Thank you.
Well, we're down to almost like the final 15 minutes.
Oh my! That has flown.
Does anyone in the chat have any questions for us?
Yeah.
Any
Yeah.
hobby questions?
Honestly, like, or any life philosophy.
Yeah.
Life philosophy. Don't ask me things like that.
Yeah.
That's a bad idea.
Ask Rhys for hobby tips. Giles to how to live your life.
Yeah.
And Ethan and
Fast and Furious.
Ethan on films prior to the 2000s.
I've seen Die Hard,
Well, you know that
Well,
means something.
that's
something.
yeah.
and I've seen Die Hard 2.
That's fine as well.
That's
As long as
fine.
you stop after Die Hard 3, you're fine.
Die Hard 4's not bad.
And that's Windows, another good use of fine liners and sharpies. Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
How do you paint clear though?
Well,
that's the.
I would have done like a horizon thing.
Can you do a reflect? Why do you paint a
I would.
reflection?
I could have done a reflection.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could have done your reflection.
I could not.
No, I couldn't. No, it's been.
I've enjoyed myself.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't sure quite what I was going to do with this red rocket, but it's been interesting. It's like, especially working in these paints, which I am not super familiar with, but I'm just.
Yeah, this might be the most hobby I've done in about 2 months.
Yeah, I had a really good spurt when I was doing some
A good what?
spurt of
Oh,
productivity.
thank you.
Doing some goblins, and then I got very busy and distracted with other stuff, and then I need to pick up a little bit.
We need to get lunchtime painting club going.
Yeah.
Oh, I like to go on a lunchtime painting club.
It's me and Ethan would do that fairly regularly, and but when it's sunny, I like to.
What's the first rule of lunchtime painting club?
Tell everyone because it's a lot of fun.
Because we're in a company where we should be.
Yeah, I've dropped my cardboard.
Oh,
No, it's all right.
it's not paint down, is it?
Of course it went paint down. If I'd have put butter on the other side,
Yeah.
it would have gone paint down. And then if you what you got to do is, can you explain the magnets to you?
How do they work? Magnets, how do they work?
Oh, hang on, no, sorry, we've got a picture by our Tyler. There we go.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's a sentry bar, and it looks like he's magnetised the weapons.
Yeah.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah.
Sorry, we got so.
Thanks, Steve. We got it.
Thank you. Yeah, so this is a way of if you want to customize your model, your unit by swapping out weapons or poses. That's what the magnetizing's for. I'm not particularly good at it. I've seen you do that on your Titans.
Sure.
I have to do
But
it
that
on
way,
everything.
rather than the whole what you see is what you get and that's it, you can.
Steve's getting cheeky.
Yeah. So yeah, for those who don't know, the magnetizing thing is if you wanted to have different weapons and configurations, it just makes it easier for him. It doesn't have to buy 20 of the same model.
Yeah, you can swap them out for WYSIWYG,
Yeah.
which is what you see is what you get. So
that way you can't take like a dog on the field and say it's a behemoth.
Yeah.
That,
I once
Pretty sure
thought,
you've tried that.
I once thought someone who put down four
it was just the one.
40mm bases and when they're giants.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks for that.
We used to use a 6-pack of Coke as a Beyblade.
Yeah, I mean, for some reason, like,
I'll put the heads on Nate Nor the
I mean,
helmet.
me and Ethan played a bit of Frostgrave recently, and that is a bit of a what you see is what you get kind of thing.
Yeah.
There are limits to what I will accept in terms of that, but
A goblin is not a space marine.
no, a goblin. No, they're not.
A paint cap is not XO1 armour.
Yeah.
So Witzo's planning on magnetising his Raider power armour. And the XO one, so you can swap out heads with Nate, Nora, and the helmet, and so forth. Yeah, it's a good idea.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, no, magnetising's it's I think it's witchcraft. But no, it's a good idea.
If someone would love to give me a step-by-step tutorial,
Yeah.
I have to be shown how to do things in person, then I can kind of replicate it. So if someone show me how to do that.
Yeah, R Tyler 7071 also magnetises the bases with thin metal And epoxy thins metal onto cases so the minis don't get battered. Yes, I've seen that as well. Yeah, that's a really good idea. Yeah.
So they don't move around.
Yeah, they don't move around. That's a really good idea. And you don't have to muck around with foam inserts.
Yeah.
So that's a really good idea. So I'm going to put that in the close-up. I don't know if anyone can see that in the close-up.
Orange with a plastic wrap.
But there
plastic
is
rog on top.
Ooh.
there is a bit of corrugated paper painted up as some rusty corrugated iron.
It looks really good.
So, oh yeah, that's cool.
And I just used. Where is it? Where's it gone? There we go. I've used wet mud, which is one of the eye painter effect paint, so it gives you kind of like a lumpier texture.
Oh, okay.
So it gives you that kind of rusted metal feel to it. And then what I've done is I've stippled mythical orange over the top of that and build it up. So when you do your first stippling, obviously you can't really see it, but then you just build it up in certain spots, and then that gives you like the orangey rusty colour. And then I mixed in a little bit of Necromancer Cloak, which is kind of like a really dark grey.
That's a really good paint.
It's really good.
When I was painting some street
Is it
games.
slightly brown as well?
No, I mixed that in with the mud whilst it was still wet on the paper.
I really like those greys actually. You can get
And that gave you the shading. And then I've just given it a quick dry brush in plate mail.
Plate mail.
I make iron paper. It's basically paper embedded with iron dust, making it magnetic, but not heavy like actual tin steel. Cool. I'll tell you what I have seen. I saw some prop guys doing it the other day. So powder, and you paint it on, or you brush it on a bit like a weathering powder.
Yeah.
And then you squirt it with some chemical, and it actually turns it to rust, real rust.
Oh my god.
Yeah, and you've got these different chemicals which change it different colours.
Don't use on your lead bottles.
Well, no, because obviously, I think the powder's like an iron powder,
Right.
so you dust it on, and as if it was like like a weathering powder, and then you get these little squirts, and it slowly, and I think the more you do it, the more intense it gets. So yeah. But that was cool. I was like, not sure if you'd use it on a model, but I think on something bigger.
Yeah.
If they could do it. So perhaps you were making a Fallout prop or something.
Yeah. It's
Yes.
starting to look a little bit redder now.
Maybe
That's better. Yeah.
costume.
So it's taken a while, but as pulled it back from
A Shandleton costume. Yeah. So I think we should let the good listeners, the good viewers know. We kind of had an idea that on the last day of the RPG stream that we're going to cosplay our characters.
We're going to try it.
We're going to try and cosplay our characters.
I mean, it's quite easy for us because I've just got to put on
Excuse
an
me.
ill-fitting suit.
I've just lost an arm.
I've lost an eye.
You got to close your eye.
Oh.
I've got to chop an arm off.
Work will cover it.
Oh, okay. Is that covered by my insurance, is it?
You get insurance?
Accident at work. So yes, so that's the idea. My respirator turned up yesterday. I now have a little respirator.
There's a Fallout thing, is it?
It's a Fallout thing. Yeah. We're not referencing Pulp Fiction or anything. We're getting towards the end. Last week's stream was now on YouTube, but Gavin, John, we are getting towards the end. It's gone.
It's 5 to.
Oh yes, Terry English. Yeah, he's the guy who did all the armour for Excalibur, the Excalibur movie.
Oh, great.
And he did.
You would not have seen that, Ethan, but
No, you wouldn't have
if you
seen
get
it.
a chance to watch, it's a really cool film.
Have you seen the awful Batman and Robin film? With Arnold Schwarzenegger as Mr. Freeze.
Yes, I have.
He did the Mr. Freeze armour.
Excellent.
Terry English. He designed and built the Mr. Freeze armour. Really good guy. So yeah, I think we're coming to the end, guys. So
Yeah.
we shall carry on.
I'll tell you what, this is nearly dry. So do you want to should we see
Doing
if we'll
what
pop this
we're
on the top just to say
Just rest it on, and then we'll glue it on at a later.
Oh,
there you go,
yeah,
everyone.
I haven't quite finished it, but it will.
Can they see it? Oh, they will be able to see it. Yeah, they will be able to see it. Brilliant.
I mean, I could do a bit more work, but that hopefully is brightened up a little bit more.
Definitely adds to it. And I don't know if you can see, I'm just painting the back of this card now. So then when I chop it up, I can chop it up into smaller pieces and then just scatter it around.
But yeah, I hope you guys have enjoyed it. If you want us to see us paint some other stuff, if there's any suggestions of what you'd like to see from the range or just Fallout stuff or anything like that, just vote, I guess. Is that what people do? They vote?
Probably post on Facebook.
Thanks, Wick. So it was fun to do. Rich just said it was the last painting stream was fun to watch, and we've been fun too.
Oh, that's good.
So that's good.
I'm glad you.
Our intention was that.
Our intention was to be fun, and
Success. That was a lot of fun, and if I got a chance to actually paint one of the red rockets rather than assemble it, so that was kind of fun.
Yeah. Well, I've actually got a chance to actually paint one.
The car looks really good. I really like the streak.
Yeah, the car's looking excellent.
If we get a chance to finish it, I'll read up on some techniques.
Yes, absolutely. It's like,
I can show you some chipping techniques.
Yeah,
I didn't get a chance to do much work, and it's still pretty
bring
wet.
the small
There is a
small sponge. Yeah, you'll need a small sponge like that, but I can show you some chipping techniques.
Pump down there, just it's not quite. I barely touched that.
Do we have plans to paint Liberty Prime in stream?
Oh.
Only if I can do it. Casual painter.
The red rocket. They want to close up.
I thought we were going to just throw Charlie in at the deep end and say, "Here's your first model."
No, I was just thinking
Liberty Prime.
I could. I was thinking we could just repaint Charlie. It's about the same size.
Oh wow.
We do like Charlie.
Oh, we love Charlie. Charlie's amazing. We love Charlie.
Sweet summer child.
We love Charlie. He's great.
Yeah, I'm liking this, Giles.
Yeah, it's nice.
Yeah, I think it just took me a while to figure out the consistencies and what these colours do. I actually do like this Mars red colour. It's not a red; it is very much an orange.
Right. Okay.
But yeah, it's good. I didn't get a chance to do I was thinking of trying to do like a lava or use this lava orange to kind of tint it on to highlight, but another time.
It's just difficult when you're painting with a range that you're not familiar with.
It's an interesting. So I've done models which done a mix with Citadel and these ones, and just the consistency on both. One is much stickier and drier sometimes, and one is much wetter, and it's like trying to. I mean, other ranges like Vallejo and.
I use any old paint.
Yeah. Oh! I used to use Humbrol when I was a kid. I regret it because I ruined so many great models.
Humbrol enamels.
Yeah, just dunking it in.
Oh yeah. Wow, yes. One final cue is about the code is live until Monday. 25% off. And the code is Red Rocket 25. So get yourself a fairly substantial piece of scenery, actually.
Also, Charlie's password on his account.
But no, it's a fairly substantial piece of scenery. And of course, that mat as well. Yeah. For the guys who probably missed it at the start. I mean, it does come with the neoprene mat as well, which is 3 foot by 3 foot, I think.
It's 3 by 3 playing area,
I mean, it even looks slightly bigger than that, but yeah.
We usually have this on one of the demo stands, like where we're at QuakeCon, we had these out, and we always take that mat, and it's a really good bit of kit.
That's it. Okay. Right, okay, guys, I think we're done, so take care.
Thanks a lot.
See you soon, and thank you for watching.
Farewell.
Bye.